Good day, everyone. This is Professor Friday coming at you one more time. I've had a request for some assistance with factoring. Now, factoring starts with multiplication. Factoring is essentially taking the operation, that favorite four-letter F word of ours, known as FOIL, and we're going to be doing it in reverse. So before we start doing it backwards, I thought it would be a good idea to sort of explain what's going on in the process of FOIL. So first off, FOIL is an acronym standing for first, outer, inner, and last. And this is how we describe the multiplications that are taking place. Technically speaking, what you're doing is simply repeated applications of the distributive property. But because we have two pairs of things, it requires a lot of use of the distributive property. Plus, it's fun to talk about four-letter F words, so, you know, that's fun. Alright, so the multiplications that would take place in a FOIL, first would be an x times an x, which in this case would give us an x squared. Outer would be this x times this 6x. Inner, we got 5 times x, and then for the last we got 5 times the 6, that'll give us 30. Usually when you're foiling something, you're going to wind up with a couple of like terms. In this case, our outer and inner terms wound up being like terms, so we combine those together. So we're going to do the same thing. We'll throw in some coefficients this time. We got 2x plus 3 times 4x minus 7. Again, F, O, I, L, F, O, I, L. Oops. Streaking a little bit there. Fun times. Alright, so first 2x times 4x, that'll give us an 8x squared. Outer, we got a 2x times minus 7, that'll be minus 14x. Inner, positive 3x times positive 4x, that'll give us a plus 12x. And then last we got a 3 times 7, that'll be a minus 21. Once again, we see that we have a couple of like terms here, so we can combine those together. Minus 14x plus 12x will give us a minus 2x, and we'll see a minus 21. Alright, in our last example we're going to see something similar in our FOIL. First would be x squared times 7x, that'll be 7x cubed. Outer will have x squared times minus 5, that'll be minus 5x squared. Then inner we got 3 times 7x, that'll be plus 21x, and 3 times negative 5 will be minus 15. Notice in this last case though that we didn't wind up with any like terms, so we don't bother combining anything. So this is how a FOIL can produce a polynomial that has either 3 or 4 terms in it. Now, factoring is going through the process of reversing what we've just done. The whole basis of everything comes down to one quick observation. Up here, this was our first, outer, inner, last. Down here, first, outer, inner, last. Down here, first, outer, inner, last. Okay. The observation that we're going to make in every single one of these cases is I'm going to multiply, as an aside, my observation, I'm going to multiply first times last. First times last in this case would be x squared times 30. Not a lot we can do with that. That would be 30x squared. Then I'm also going to multiply outer times inner. Outer was 6x. Inner was 5x. Multiplying those together gives us 30x squared. Please notice that those two quantities that we arrive at happen to be the same thing. I wonder if it works that way every time. Second one, first times last. That's equal to 8x squared times negative 21. Multiply those together, we got negative 168x squared. Multiply outer times inner, and we're going to see negative 14x times 12x. Normally at this point, I ask my students, so what do you think? Is that a coincidence, or is that a thing? I got news for you though. This is math. There's no such thing as a coincidence, except for when there is. So first times last, in this case, that's going to be 7x cubed times negative 15. which in this case, negative 105x cubed. Do outer times inner, we'll have negative 5x squared times 21x. That happens to be negative 105x cubed. What you have just observed, the fact that first times last is always equal to outer times inner, this is the entire basis of what factoring is. So, let's stop there. We'll turn this into a second video. Yeah.